Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We know there's so much curiosity and so much anticipation about things we're going to reveal, and there's a lot of passion in the community. You guys are awesome, and that's what makes us stand out. It's been so long, and we're such a tight group, and we've been through so many things we don't want to remember, but we'd have to all the time. You guys really care about where this project is headed, and so do we. So today, we have Jesse, Jeffrey, and Miguel here. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been so long overdue to have this community call, and the team and I have a lot to share. We are so pumped for this. Um, Today is a huge step forward. We are giving you the first preview of the new Effect AI white paper and roadmap. Oh my gosh. Um, the draft we have published, it's a blueprint for how we're unlocking the AI app economy. More on that later. And making it possible for anyone to build powerful, production ready AI applications without all the roadblocks and friction that we see today. Um, so we're pretty pumped about this. This white paper has our vision, our strategy, and the path forward that we have chosen for Effect. You're getting an early view of what will soon be shared like more broadly out everywhere. We just wanted you guys to see it first, talk about it with you, and let you see where we're headed. There's a lot to get through with it. We'll walk you through the big ideas, talk about how it fits into our mission. Um, then we'll have a Q&A to cover some of the topics that you guys have all been adding in the chats and things everywhere. We'll also have a update about the alpha testing, because I don't know how many of you maybe have missed the alpha calls, but there's a lot to go over there. We're very proud of that. So there's a lot of exciting ground to cover. We'll get started and try to keep it under an hour. There's just so much, so this will be difficult. First off, let's go over the updates with Effect Alpha testing. Miguel is the king of this, so I will give it over to you. Oh, I forgot to do the next slide here. That's our agenda. Sorry about that. Okay, so Miguel is here to do alpha testing updates.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks so much for that awesome update and intro, Rochelle. Uh, yeah. So the we're currently on the phase 3 of the alpha. We're just finishing it up this week, and we have some stats and some things we want to show you guys. I know a lot of you were in the previous phase 2 alpha call, and we will probably have another small phase 3 alpha call a little bit later in the coming weeks. But we just wanted to show you guys some stats and kind of like what we learned and talk about what we're going to be working on uh, between the third phase and the next phase, the fourth phase. So after the 3 phases of testing, we've now reached a really awesome key milestone of 100,000 tasks. We do have some honorable mentions of taskers. I know a lot of them are, or a lot of you guys are in the chat now. So Bash, Elizabeth, Dudu, and there's so many more that you guys have been killing it with, not only completing the tasks but also giving us so much feedback, and it's all incredibly useful. So right now we have 44 alpha testers. We're going to be adding again some more for phase 4. We don't know exactly how many we're going to be adding yet, but we are proactively adding as we go to kind of test more and more of the platform. And as of now, we've also had over 250,000 EF or effect. Sorry, I was going to say EFX, but not anymore. Over 250,000 effect paid also to the testers. So it's been going absolutely amazing. Some things that we've learned along the way, and I know this comes from again the community feedback, is one, the task efficiency and kind of getting the tasking life cycle kind of feeling the way we want it to feel, and that comes from a lot of the info we're getting back from the community. Kind of loading times, tasking, processing, improvements. We've been adding some shortcuts here and there from feedback we've gotten. So that's definitely one thing that we learned that is really important. Another one is obviously the payment life cycle and experience. We've been having a couple issues here and there and bugs, but that's kind of what the testing is for, and you guys are amazing with kind of allowing us to do what we need to do and working with us to figure out what the issues are and how to improve that. So that's those are some things we've learned. What we're working on also is more optimization for the platform, kind of expanding more tasking types. I know we've added a few more tasking types this phase. I know a lot of you guys really liked um, the music analysis tasks, and there's going to be a lot more tasking types coming out. I know we want to keep it diverse and interesting for the not only for the workers, but to have more real use cases for AI needs in the space. So those will be coming out as well. And the last thing is we are still working on kind of unifying the wallet and account integration for devices. It's a bit more tricky than we initially anticipated, but we're trying to do it in a way where it's seamless and the user doesn't have to really think about anything. You kind of just connect your wallet and that's it. So that's still in the works. And yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say thank you again to all the workers and all the testers that have been not only with us from the beginning, but even the ones that joined us for the third phase. You guys have been absolutely amazing. And yeah, can't wait for the next couple phases to come through.
Oh, yes, me
But
too.
yeah, that's that's the update so far for the alpha.
Thanks. Yes, you testers are incredibly important because you can't ship a product bug free if you don't work out all the kinks first. So thank you so much. It's so incredibly important with what we're doing. You guys are a big part of our development. And speaking of development, um, there are some new things. Some of you have looked at our website today and noticed a few changes. There's some cool things here that we want to showcase. And I will hand the mic to Jeffrey to let him talk about some of the new changes today.
Yeah, perfect. All right. All right. Thank you, Rochelle, for the handoff there. Nice intro as well. So yeah, this morning, as you already said, we pushed a nice little update to the website. Some of you have already seen it. Some of you may have not. Basically, it's to bring everything in line with the new content of the white paper. And aside from that, we've also published a few extra blocks with some extra content. So a big one is the contribution block, contributor block, however you want to call it. This is basically going to be useful when we open source everything and to incentivize people to come and contribute, right, to the Effect AI protocol. It also shows our faces and who are working on the project. Of course, it's only like GitHub commits, so take everything with a grain of salt. It's not like a real like solid indicator, but it is, I think, nice for the community to also eventually get on there. And last but not least, the little form for people looking to build anything on the network in terms of like applications and builders. So Rochelle made an awesome form for potential builders or customers that they can fill in, and yeah, we can talk with them and see yeah, how we're gonna solve the issues. So that's basically it for the website update. I think I will just go into the white paper. I guess that's the most important part. I can give a nice little overview. Yeah, I was told to keep everything under 1 hour. That's really hard with this white paper. It's already very condensed, and we obviously don't want to bore you guys with too many technical details. So I'll just give a brief little description. So what we planned and aim to do with the white paper, and the goal of it is really to lay the foundation and vision and re-establish ourselves as a very serious project in the AI space, right? With long-term goals, etc. It Yeah, it very well explains our pivot away from just being about like data enrichment to providing a solid foundation of decentralized and composable AI infrastructure. We talk about a plan and how we aim to execute that plan, and it's all very scoped to the current AI market and trends. But the key to the white paper, in my opinion, is the combination of like a well thought out technical foundation together with like a very solid economical model. So we go over like a layered architecture, we define all the roles in the system, but most importantly, and I know a lot of you people are gonna like this, the incentive models. So how the tokens are gonna flow, what are gonna be the opportunities, how we are gonna attract new people coming into the ecosystem, etc. So it's still a draft. I don't know if it was mentioned already. I will mention it again. It is a draft. Um, yeah, we our core vision is established, and I think it's looking pretty good, if I may say so myself. So I see the slide is on the application layer. I think if you go one slide up, Rochelle. Yeah, so the design principles. I will just quickly go over these. Yeah, go read the white paper if you really want to in-depth deep dive on these. But basically, we're talking about 3 different layers. So we have the execution layer, the application layer, and the settlement layer, and what their purposes are basically. So the execution layer is like the real-time peer-to-peer task execution layer for managers and workers. So this is where all the tasks flow and work gets done. Then we have the application layer where builders can define applications and that live inside the network. This is also combined with the incentives that I'm going to be talking about a little bit later. And the key layer here is also the settlement layer, of course. This is where the connection is made to the blockchain. So for payouts, staking is defined, dispute resolutions, how builders are going to earn, etc. And then we have the 5 roles. We try to keep it as clear as possible. So the providers are the ones that are going to be posting tasks. Managers are going to be making sure that tasks are going to be completed. Workers are going to execute the tasks. Builders are going to create the applications, and evaluators are, basically going to be the entities that validate outputs and ensure quality and make sure the capabilities are correct. Maybe if you can go to the next slide, Rochelle. I think it's... All right, so this is just a nice little diagram that shows an application. It's basically an example of an application with the 2 pools that we're going to talk about in a little bit, the incentives, which are, settled on-chain. So the red is basically the on-chain, a little part of the on-chain layer. And around it is the execution mesh. So that's going to be all the workers that are online and available for work. Yeah, if you can go to the next slide. The settlement layer. Okay, so again, if you really want a real deep dive in how everything works, I really recommend you to read through the whole white paper. But it gets pretty technical, so I don't want to bore you guys. And like I said, we are on a little bit of a time schedule. But the most important aspect here of the settlement layer is the usage of zero knowledge proof. So it's a cryptographic tool that we use to prove that something happened off chain, and then we verify it on chain. So this is one of the core aspects of the settlement layer. So we don't need to put everything on chain. That slows everything down. We make everything expensive. Yeah, so we basically use this tool to keep everything very efficient in this layered architecture, and this is really one of the keys, I think. Yeah, we use it for VC redemptions, dispute resolutions, payments, basically in all of the contracts to yeah, keep everything efficient and yeah, smooth. All right, so here's a little diagram that basically shows the task execution from a provider posting a task basically to a worker claiming his or her payment. Yeah, it goes through a number of different steps and different roles interact with a task on different levels. So this is basically just a nice little diagram that gives an overview of that. Yeah, the provider will create a task, the manager will assign it, the worker can accept it. It will return the result to the manager. Then the manager gives the result back to the provider, so the provider has the result of the task. And then basically asynchronous, the manager will settle the payment with the worker. That's the gist of it. All right, so yeah, the token utility and incentives. So another diagram to make it a little bit easier to digest all the information that's in there. It basically shows the flow of funds coming in from a provider to the revenue pool, flowing into the contribution pool, flowing to app shareholders. So I talked a little bit about incentive mechanisms. Inside of an application, there's basically going to be two pools. So every application registered on the network will have two unique pools. So a revenue pool and a contribution pool. The revenue pool is just where money or funds from a provider flows into for payments for workers, for example, and network fees. So this is basically the entry point for the funds coming from a provider, and it then gets distributed to all kinds of different decentralized pools, right? As you can see in the diagram. And the one of the most important ones, in my opinion, and the most cool ones is the redistribution into the contribution pool. And the contribution pool is, as I said, is another pool inside of an application, one of the two pools, where everyone can basically buy shares. So it works similar to how our reward system works right now with staking. So we have basically right now you get a percentage of the rewards according to your stake. That's going to be a similar mechanic in the contribution pool. So you buy into it with effect, you get app shares, and that basically gives you like a stake of the revenue of the application. So you will receive a portion of the revenue from any application. I think it's a very cool incentive model. That's a big part of the new white paper. It also talks a little bit about universal basic income, UBI for short. We're already experimenting right now with it on the alpha. It's working pretty well. So it's just another tool to supplement payments to workers when there's not enough tasks coming into an application, or basically it's to foster an always ready workforce, right? It's a very important part of keeping a tasking network like this alive. You have to balance it out really well, right? You don't want to have too many tasks and not enough workers, but the other way around is also not not good. So the UBI is basically a mechanism that we use to balance this. So we always have workers ready when tasks are coming in, basically. The multi-token payments with burn. This is another cool new mechanic that's actually one of our most respectable community members thought of. I think maybe DJ, do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Well, just the principle really is the idea that if you want to incentivize tasks, requesters come to the network, we need a way to kind of incentivize them. And I believe that allowing other tokens to be used as settlement can help bring them in. For example, if there's a project that like Nasana, HiveMapper, if they have tasks they want to do, why not let them use their token to settle it? And that makes them more inclined to come to us and build their application. I guess since you wrote it, you can talk about it more. But I'm really stoked to see this in the white paper.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to give you the honor of talking a little bit, introducing it a little bit, because of course yeah, it is, yeah, the initial idea came from you, of course, and we really loved it. We tried to implement it in how the system functions right now. I think it's very cool. Like you said, it's a nice burn mechanic that incentivizes uh, providers like other external projects to come and route their tasks through the Effect network. Yeah, I really love it. As always, yeah, go read through the paragraph to really get a good understanding of it. For now, I think, let's see. What is the next slide?
The next thing
Is that it on the? Yeah, that's it on the well on the topics that we wanted to cover in the slides. But I guess there's many other topics in the white paper. I think maybe I can hand it off to Jesse so we can ping pong a little bit on some other topics that you maybe wanna touch on or maybe give a little bit more detail on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for this great overview. It's an impossible task, I guess, to like recap or like go over the white paper in this community call because of the time and like the depth of the content. But I think it was an amazing like introduction, going over some of the graphs. It's a whole new white paper, but I think it's worth the read, especially like even if you're not too technical, it really, I think, is well written in a way where it describes the problem in the industry pretty well. And for those that have been around here a bit longer, I think we're like 6 years or something, maybe even more after the previous white paper that we released. And I don't think there is an industry in the world that's changed as much in 6 years as AI, as the industry of AI and data and that part goes. So longer than 6 years, probably, right? Yeah, it feels more recent, but so yeah, just I recommend people to also to read it and like there is a lot to discuss. Like I guess also a lot. There's a reason why it's still called draft, as we will probably like revise some elements within the white paper still. Some parts will definitely see a couple of revisions after we discuss this with the wider community, and I think everyone will need a bit of time to read it and go over it. So we will have more discussions on this as we go forward, either in Discord or Telegram or in calls coming up. But I don't think you missed anything crucial there, Jeffrey. I think you gave a really good overview what's in it and what it is for, right? It's basically describing all the core foundational mechanics within Effect AI that are necessary to make this product work, and so why we need them. And it has some examples in there. For example, we can see now on the slide where we sort of propose a certain distribution of how fees and tokens will flow through the network that we will tune and adjust as we go forward. So yeah, I think for here, if people have questions, you can also drop them in the chat, or if you would like to hear like a specific topic with some more details, then we are happy to dive into that. But I think for now we can move forward to the next topics. I saw a roadmap on the slide coming up, which is also worth going over, I think.
Yes, because there was so much that we've, laid out in this draft of our white paper. People are like, oh my God, okay, so with all this going on, where are we? What's next? What's coming up? So, Jesse, Jeffrey, would you guys like to talk a little bit about this roadmap?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's let's go over it a bit. The roadmap is in the white paper, and it's obviously still in the draft phase, but we wanted to lay out in broad lines what you guys can expect and how things will move forward. Obviously, like with the white paper, it introduces a lot of new concepts. It talks about what the industry is currently at, what kind of state, what kind of problems we encounter, what kind of problems projects encounter that want to build artificial intelligence or that require human data for their applications. So we have to go over like the things that Jeffrey just mentioned are not going to be implemented in day one. We also don't want to like wait a long time or like be very much delayed until the product is fully functioning and actually helping people in the industry. We have a very pragmatic approach where we want to get the product out there as fast as possible. I really believe that the market now is it's moving so fast and we're at the right spot, but we don't have the luxury to wait around a year before we can start providing services to to users in the network. That's why we've chosen for this phased approach. Maybe worth it to I'll just quickly go over a couple of the phases that in order, and then if Jeffrey has some inputs, feel free to just interrupt me or add stuff later on that's worth talking about. Anyways, for the current stage where we're in, like what we're building now, Miguel already gave a really nice overview of the current status and the progress that we've made with the alpha. If you haven't checked it out, it's worth to look just at the user interface and how the product looks like. But we have like 44 active people that are doing data annotations, and the main purpose of the alpha is still to make the project more mature. So we want to figure out all the technical issues that are arising in the current implementation. And these features are mainly revolve around the core of the network. So we're looking at like the really important foundational pieces that make the network tick, which include the layers that Jeffrey mentioned. So like an execution layer and a worker mesh. So having like a large pool of talented workers is an important part, like one of the most crucial parts that we're now laying out. Also the verifiable credentials and decentralized identities. These are two core things that allow us to basically identify workers and also to get an assurance of their capabilities. So one of the primary things of this network is that we really want to be sure that people that contribute, that they provide high quality and reliable services. Either if they're humans that contribute or if they're agents that run on some compute. We need to make sure that what they contribute is high quality. So those the systems that enable this are the decentralized identity and credential systems that those are currently being built. So like a really important part is the payment layer. So where people get where payments are settled, people get paid in tokens. The basis of the tokenomics has to be in place. So that's what we're working on now. We want to get that finished ASAP. That's why we're testing in the alpha to roll out like the UBI features where people get like rewarded for the input that they've done or being available right now on the network, and a few other ones that will be added in this phase. Then once that is sort of working, and I think one of the hallmarks, like one of the markers that will show that we're there is that we have clients using the network. We're working right now on a few partner apps. Those are basically applications that will use Effect AI's network to do certain AI things. Like the primary one will be like a data set application where various clients can build specific kinds of data sets. A bit more on that later. But that once we're there and partners are using it and all these foundational systems are working, is when we're basically already going into phase two, where we're going to focus a lot on the making the building of applications very dynamic. So there is a system in the white paper that's called the DAG, the directed acyclic graph system. It basically allows builders to make really dynamic applications that function on chain and that will make it very easy to accomplish a bit more complicated data workflows that we've seen people require in the past. That's one of the most important parts. But at the same time, we'll be working on SDKs so people can easily implement. And yeah, there's a bunch of other things. Another cool highlight is that we would really like to introduce at that point some, yeah, at least the beginning of the DAO, the Effect DAO is. It's been too long that the DAO has been established. I'm very happy, and it's very cool to see that a lot of the DAO members are still around and contributing and active in the community. But I, for one, believe that it's yeah, there's a lot of value in having a dedicated place where the DAO can make decisions and where things like stakeage and the token stake have some value in steering the governance of this project. So some basic type of governance where we can make decisions and where the tokens allocated in the DAO treasury are being governed, along with some other decision points that belong to the DAO, should have a place again in this phase. Then, yeah, the phases coming after that are like a bit less of a priority. What I've mentioned before is absolutely more important than the things that come after. But there are a lot of technical cool concepts that we want to conquer, like a lot of zero knowledge proofs and settlement improvements that can make this network very efficient and very private. Like being privacy focused is one of the important parts during phase 3 and phase 4. And also like having a lot stronger community governance where the actual network parameters and where we really achieve the same level of autonomy as we were going towards on the EOS blockchain. Will be coming around around those two later phases. I think that covers most of it. I'll leave the floor to anyone that wants to add something there, or if there's any questions, feel free to pop some in.
It's a lot to take in. It's a lot we're going to do, that's for sure.
I know, right? This call is maybe too information packed, but obviously all this information is out there and can be discussed asynchronous as well.
Yes. And speaking of that, so this white paper and some of the topics that we're going over, it's a very high, broad overview of extremely technical text. Like, it's a lot to wrap your brain around. And one thing we noticed, years ago when we, launched our first platform and we're going, people still really didn't understand what we were and what you could do with our product. And so the team and I have spent, oh my God, I can't even quantify how much time working on making sure our messaging is clear and that, we don't have that issue like we had before. It's incredibly important, for one, to spread the word, and then for two, to people understand exactly what it is and what you can do with it. So I'm going to hand this over to Jesse because you are so passionate about this, like the rest of us. Maybe you can give the big picture stuff of exactly what is Effect AI now.
Yeah, it's great question. Good to recover it. I think to go over this again as like with this new white paper and all this new information. Yeah, important to go back to the core, right? What we are trying to achieve as a network and as a community. What do we want to accomplish here? Especially as we have a long history and like the previous white paper or like the last update was maybe 6-7 years ago. So what are we trying to do? I think the mission has remained the same. Like we want to achieve the same thing. The main thing that is new at this point is how we are trying to achieve it, and also the industry and the problems and the needs that clients and companies have in this industry. Whereas before, the main focus of this project was a lot about human data. I think now we are trying to take a more holistic look at the industry and what people are building, and we're trying to make a solution that really benefits from decentralization and that can really aid and help projects to achieve more in the current AI industry, to build cool applications running on AI. So one way to look at it is that AI is a skeleton key in the app economy. What that is trying to say is that with Effect AI's new architecture, we want to allow people to combine a lot of different resources to build the AI apps they need. What that entails is, for a large part, like still to get quality data. I think this is one of the primary things that we want to achieve: getting quality data into projects. But where quality data comes from is changing. One thing we experienced a lot over the years is that to get quality data, even from humans, there is a lot of coordination and quality assurance necessary. And in the current industry, a lot of coordination and quality assurance comes from AI models. It comes from either LLMs or agents or even different types of architectures. They are required to make all of this stick and to get the right amount of data in the right places. We also took a big step in this white paper to
You kind of cut out there.
sorry, it might be my network. What point did I cut out?
Now I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I think you cut off at we took a big step in this white paper.
Sure how much got missed there. So yeah, we took a big step in this white paper to looking further than just data annotations, but also looking at what companies and what projects do with that data afterwards, which often is fine tuning a model and then basically checking how that model performs and then using that model again to create new data and to iterate and improve, which is all things that we want to enable people to build on top of the network. So you don't just get like the way the network was functioning before, and I think the way that some other projects also like, if you just go at creating data from humans, you'll bounce into a lot of issues where projects are having to do too much work or it doesn't fit in well enough with what they're trying to achieve with their products. And in our current in the current architecture, we're able to do that. So the problems we're solving are listed there. Also described well in the white paper. I won't cover all of them. But we really want to tackle those pain points. So when a company wants to build a cool AI app, then he can come to Effect AI and like basically get a guarantee on the quality of the humans that provide input into his application. And he can also directly get input from AI and get benchmark metrics and stuff like that from AI to get a better sense and a more wholesome sense of the data that he's using and iterating over for his application. Maybe it's good to go over a couple of examples there. I think, Rochelle, that's coming up, right? Don't know if there's any input from you guys. Let me know. Also hope you guys can hear me still.
Yes, we can still hear you. So, yes, now that you've explained what we are, what can we do with it? That is a big question. And I think we have some ideas to get the concepts for you guys with what you can do with Effect AI. You can do a lot. It can be overwhelming. So we've got some examples here. Jesse, would you like to talk about it? Or I can too. It doesn't matter.
And maybe I can give an example, and then I'll hand it over to you, Rochelle. There's a wide variety of things that you can do indeed, but maybe to make it more concrete, one example that's like thinking we have a couple of apps that are being built now that are a lot about data creation, There is one specific one. I think it's just autonomy and having builders
You cut
there.
out for me.
But for example, okay, where did I cut out?
Just I
You
guess
wanted
restart
to
the
talk about
example.
an interesting example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I'm cutting out. Sorry for that. Anyways, I'll just talk slowly. Please let me know if it does happen again. I'll try to pick up where I got cut off. An interesting example to cover would be one that also that we've experienced in real life in the AI industry is where you want to fine tune a model. In this case, it was a whisper model where a whisper model basically transcribes audio to text. Quite popular. They're being used widely in the industry, but even as like currently they're very it can be very tricky when there is a lot of jargon or like heavy accents or not frequently used language in the audio. The models are not able to handle that correctly. Perhaps you guys have ever read one of the transcriptions of the DAO calls we used to do, and then you would see that there's often struggles with certain terms being used, like DAO or like crypto terms, or they would get transcribed in a weird way. And this happens a lot. So what you can build on Effect is like an app where the full life cycle of training a whisper model to learn a specific jargon or a specific accent can be done quite easily within the network. The steps that it would go through is that you basically need to start with a large collection of audio samples. This can be created by the workforce. So you could have a campaign that you create in the Effect AI platform where people will speak with a specific accent. Maybe it's like Dutch, from Amsterdam that has a specific accent that can be hard to transcribe. So I could have that task out there where people speak in the audio. This audio then gets cut up in the right way, and after that it has to be transcribed. So what you often do is you use the model that you currently have, which is Whisper, to transcribe these audio segments, which they will have a lot of mistakes in there, as we created already high quality data ourselves that is hard to transcribe. So these mistakes then get the model creates the transcriptions with mistakes, obviously. So then you hand that over to people that are qualified in the language to basically highlight the mistakes and format it in the right way. And that data, along with the audio, can be fed back into the model to fine tune, which improves the model. And you iterate over this process time and time again until you reach a very high accuracy. This is an app that's, for example, very useful and that you can build on the network. There is a lot happening there, as there is a Whisper model that's being run, and there is people that are speaking the audio. There is people that are basically transcribing and checking transcriptions, and all of them will be able to get the right reward, the right token rewards, because of the app economy that we described before. This was just like one example. Maybe Rochelle or Jeff, if you guys want to add any examples there, or Miguel.
I got a good example. And this one is what I am extremely excited about, because I will be, once we launch and are going and stuff, I will be taking advantage of this. So, okay, say anyone can build a website, that has like an app or service or whatever, that something that you want to do, and you want clients, and then you need to get the work done, and you need to build a website, which that's easy to do. AI can do it for you, right? But what about the stuff in the back end? All the ins and outs that go with, having a digital company, okay? So say I build a moderation app that will check content, using a mix of humans and AI agents. Well, I can use Effect.ai to do this. So I will build my app website, okay, launch it on launch my app on Effect, and I will monetize it. And how I monetize this is so easy. So like I would put like a 3% coordination fee to each task that runs through my app. So with my customers add the stuff that they want moderated or whatever, I'll take 3% right off. The rest goes on Effect AI. So organizations that use my app to moderate content pay task rewards and my app fee. So that's automatically handled by our protocol. I don't have to chase invoices. I don't have to maintain billing. I don't have to, create accounts for the humans that are moderating, and do any of that. So basically, I can turn any workflow into a product on Effect without building a whole entire software as a service company around it. It sounds like a lot, but you guys are here's a different example. You guys are familiar with like Shopify, right? It lets anyone make their Shopify website, put their products on there. Shopify handles all the payments for their clients and everything like that. Like that's what's possible here. I can make so many software as a service companies and run it all through our protocol, and it goes automatically. So I don't have to do all the day-to-day maintenance with it. The protocol just handles it, and then I rake in money. So that's why I'm so excited about what we have going on, because this is crazy. I hope this makes sense. You can hear my excitement. Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's a nice example. I also wanted to touch a little bit upon the example that Jesse gave earlier. So the key there is really the composability, right? So I can define my application that defines the flow and the structure that Jesse talked about, right? Like input and audio, it then gets cut up into certain segments, then gets fed into humans that transcribe it, or before that, maybe it gets fed into an LLM that makes like a base transcription of it. It's all kinds of steps, basically, right, inside of this application that lives on the Effect AI protocol. And once this application is defined and it's structured, other people can reuse this, right, with their own like proprietary data or their own public data. It doesn't really matter. They can use the workflow that I built, and they can use it for their own, their own use cases, right? This is the most powerful aspect, I think. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Now, if I want to set up any sort of AI or data pipeline, like I have to make all these different steps that I just described, I have to manually program them, right? So with our goal really is with this structure that people can come in, they put data in, and in this specific example, they get a model with like fine-tuned weights out of it. And inside of this like complex structure, basically humans and machines are working together. So certain steps inside of these applications are completed by humans, like the transcription. Some are completed by machines, like running a script that cuts audio fragments into 15-second bytes. You get the point. I think that's the one of the most powerful aspects of this new proposed architecture.
Yes. Yes, there's so much. There's so much. But oh gosh, we are running close on time. We still haven't done the big community questions. So, should I ready to move on? Should I move on? Advance the slides?
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. So, we'll circle back to all that stuff and everything later in our community chat. So, okay, community questions and hot takes. You guys have been asking a lot of questions about things. We've compiled them. I always keep track of them so we can, address them either right away or keep them all for our community call. and things. We're always watching, we're always reading them, and I save them down. And there's been quite a bit of thing about community support and marketing readiness. Big things for you guys. I hope that releasing this white paper, and our roadmap, that draft and some of the things we discussed here, maybe sometimes answer some of these questions that you guys have been asking along all this time. But some specific questions were, how can you guys help? Um, Share announcements and updates. You guys are also helping big time with alpha testing. That's awesome. Tell your friends and everyone else, come to our Discord, follow us, on our socials. Um, Share the white paper once it's not in draft. I mean, you can talk about it and things. It's in draft right now. And create community content. I'll help out you guys with some materials and images and phrasing and stuff that you can use and take and make your own and spread. That is coming here shortly. A big thing that you guys are wondering too is, okay, it's been quiet. Now you see why it's been so quiet. Um, are we as a team ready to make the biggest impact possible with what we have going on? Jesse, would you like to touch a little bit about that and what our current focus is?
Just cut out for 1 second. What would you like me to touch on? I had a little audio glitch.
What our current focus
Something wrong
is,
with my setup.
and um, everything with our marketing readiness and what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, of course. Like the marketing question, it's absolutely valid thing that the community asks about. So yeah, we definitely need to go over that and need what our current focus is. We have been really sort of head down building our product, like the alpha and stuff, and our marketing has not been up to the standard for a while actually. So we realized that. So at this point, we are happy with what we're seeing in the alpha. We have done the steps with the white paper that we've found like really important, and they did take up much energy and focus. Um, that yeah, like we are currently very much going to focus more on marketing. We really understand and recognize that the parts where it's lacking. So there is a lot of stuff coming up. I don't think yeah, we'll just have to see it come out. I think instead of talking about it here. But I just wanted to recognize the question and that we're on top of it. Um, yeah. You have any specifics, Rochelle? You wanted me to go over or?
Oh no, no. Um, I just think that you guys are always wondering about it, and what our goals are. And while we're not going to specifically say, okay, we're going to be doing X, Y, and Z, and in the next month or 3 weeks, we're going to have this or that, like, we won't give you super, super detailed things about what we're doing with our marketing, but our goals are to clearly communicate what our platform does, highlight the opportunities within the AI app economy, and build awareness um, with developers, researchers, organizations, and workers. So the near once it's in wider release, our product, you'll start seeing more. But things now, we're going to be communicating clearly what we are, what you can do with us, and stuff to garner that attention. So those are like the first steps that you'll be seeing here shortly. Um, but yeah, I think you guys will be pleased once you see things rolling out. And then, the timing, when's it going to ramp up? The groundwork's already underway, and a big part of that is what you're seeing us, discuss on these slides and what we're talking about in this call. yeah, it's gonna be big. Um, but a big
Absolutely,
part.
yeah. No, that's well said, Rochelle.
Yeah,
Sorry. I just wanted to confirm and also maybe add there that for now, like on the marketing side, we haven't really like attempted or managed to reach outside of our community. Like everyone here, you guys are awesome, and like your support is incredible, and we're trying our best to communicate what's happening, and basically the current marketing efforts we've done has been very much just sort of internal, and not really reached further than that. So of course the goal now is to spread the word. Like the white paper is ready, our messaging, we have new fresh messaging and some updates coming to like website and some of the graphics, with the sole goal is that we will attract a lot of new people coming in, and that is ultimately the goal for also on the workforce side, to attract builders that want to build on our platform, general community members that want to come in. That's the focus from now forward. So yeah, like hopefully we're gonna see lot bigger calls and a way wider reach for the project, so we can actually see our social numbers grow, and all of that, which has been quite stagnant, like for a while now.
yeah, yeah. And a big question, we did talk about, the timeline for when the DAO returns a bit earlier, with our roadmap phases and things, but some people are asking about partnerships. Actually, Alan just asked here in the chat too. Um, Miguel is been pretty busy. um, but for partnerships, yeah, there's early talks. There's some good stuff going on, but we can't really name drop or announce yet, until we're ready to announce. But I think that's about all we can say with that right now. It is very exciting though.
Yeah, there's a few, and I can touch on that a little bit. There's a few that we are talking about, like you said, um, and we're looking at, or, well, me and the whole team, we're looking at any possible other partnerships or companies or projects that we find effect would be a great fit. Um, I mean, like every day I'm looking through and snooping around discords and everything. So, but also I wanted to see if anyone in the community or any of you guys see any cool projects or anything like that. I know, you know, more eyes on different projects is really cool. So, by all means, if anyone also thinks they have a cool idea of a cool partnership, then let us know, and we can definitely kind of chase that for the team. So I just want to put that out there as well. But yeah, some interesting stuff happening. We can't really talk too much about it as we're kind of under some NDAs and stuff for stuff and things. But hopefully soon we can push some really cool updates.
You mentioned earlier that the alpha is getting to a level where you're getting confident with it, Jesse. I remember one big thing we wanted to make sure is before we do partnerships, the alpha was in a satisfactory state where it can deliver excellent quality data. Do you think we're pretty much approaching that point soon? Do you think there's a time where there's going to be a beta instead of an alpha?
So yeah, I think we are like there is a whole bunch of features in the white paper that are not that are going to take a long time to produce, but we're talking here about to create quality data sets for clients. We are building now some apps for partners that will be that are meant to give them high quality data. We have high hopes. Like alpha testing so far was for technical like reasons, so we wanted to get technical feedback. we are like once that is looking better, and I think it is looking.
Oh no, he's cutting out.
Yeah, we
Jesse, you're still cut out.
Someone needs to get him like a Starlink satellite or something. You should make
yeah, it makes
Starlink hats.
the suspense hits harder when Jesse cuts out.
Yeah.
Until Jesse cuts out, I remember I made a big
And
effort searching for partners, but unfortunately, there's always the product is in development, so I couldn't really capitalize on it, such as Leon, a big open source data community. So I'm just waiting for the all clear when I can know that data can be done before I kind of jump around looking for partners, because I don't want to leave them hanging, like I did with them for like over a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the hard part when you're attracting someone. You're like, here, check us out. We can do this and this and this, and then they come, and then there's like nothing for them to see or do. It's so difficult, and then it's disappointing.
Right, so gotta have that alpha ready.
Exactly. And oh, it looks like Jesse's typing because I think his mic still isn't working.
I am sorry, my
Maybe.
I mean, even if there are some partners or projects where we can even kind of take them in and at least let them know that we're still in kind of a testing phase, but we can um, start looking at creating even like templates for tasks that they might want. I know there were a couple. There was a person that came up to me, and this is just like I guess a researcher or someone, where they wanted to do some tasks regarding what was it, like sentence security or redaction, and so we kind of worked with them a little bit, and we added actually some templates in the alpha for that kind of thing. So we would have the workers take a sentence and highlight some of like the important information in the sentence that would need redacting, and like stuff like that where they don't necessarily need a product right away, but they're looking at maybe using us in the future or just testing us out and testing the waters. It would still be a great opportunity just to add some more content to the alpha testing and to kind of show them what we can do already with the platform, and then everything else that we're adding is kind of just gravy on top. But yeah, so shoot either me or Rochelle, but I'll probably be a better go-to for that if there are any. Like I said, any partnerships or any interesting companies or projects that you guys think we'd be a good fit for, because we're always um, up to receiving that kind of information.
Now the alpha testers are gonna look at these tasks that are in testing and be like, I wonder what company this is for. Now they know.
Maybe they'll there.
Is Jesse still cut out? Perhaps Jeffrey, you want to continue the question on what is the like current state of the alpha and how is it confidently creating data now?
Yeah, I can touch upon it a little bit. I mean, we already discussed it, I guess, yeah, earlier. Yeah, we are not sure yet how many, like this ties back into the question from earlier, right? Like how many phases are we gonna need to get out of alpha and go into beta? It's especially with the new white paper, with the new concept it introduces. Jesse already touched upon it as well. We are structuring it in like phases so that we can yeah, basically grow as quick as possible, right? Be practical as quick as possible. Work on real use cases as fast as possible. We're already behind the scenes working on a few different apps, like Jesse also already said, um, with some partners. So yeah, I really cannot comment too much further on it. I wish I could give you guys like a very very thought out estimation, but it's right now it's not possible.
Gotcha.
Oh, it shows Jesse is typing. I'll wait for what he says here since his mic decided to quit.
I'm here, so sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Uh, I'm here. I'm just cutting out a lot, and you guys are cutting out a lot for me. So sorry for the technical issues, but I'll try to speak if there's more questions.
Oh no, I'm very happy with this white paper, how it's looking. I've always requested it, and the incentive mapping is very good because I remember in the EOS era, we did have an SDK, but there was very little incentive for builders to build. We couldn't really get it to kick off, other than the fact we were on EOS, so it's like very obscure. But having actual like protocol fees in there where the builders can profit from them, I think will definitely create a much greater incentive, and adding that burning mechanic for other tokens can really encourage them to kind of make their own products on Effect AI, and it will benefit their own token. So I'm very happy with how the white paper is developing to factor in higher level. How do we get people building on Effect AI?
Yeah,
I
there's
think I
just so
had
much
the
to take in.
same idea there.
But I think all in all, you guys seem very receptive to what we put out today. Um, so I'm glad for that. You've deserved a white paper and a roadmap for a very long time, and it took us a little bit, to get there with with all of this. So we're incredibly happy to give you something today. Even though it's draft, it's a live draft, so it'll be constantly, updated and things finalized and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot for you guys to look back on, read through. I'm looking forward to all the discussions we can have in Discord and Telegram about this. I can't wait. I'm super pumped and excited and invigorated. I know you can't tell that at all in my voice. Um, but yeah, we're all excited. We're glad you're here still with us, following along and spending this hour and 10 minutes with us. Oh my gosh. Um, so yeah, I think we need to wind it down. Thank you so much for giving us your time today and letting us show you what we've been doing for you every day for a very long time. It's nice to be able to show stuff. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for my team that I work with. You guys are amazing too. Um, so yes, I'm done. I think we're done. Any final
Yeah, I think it
things
was
you
a
guys want to add?
great call, guys.
Alan? I know you're talking about Ronald McDonald.
So thanks, guys. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Happy we have the white paper out. Also, hope we get some more feedback
A
in the
great
coming days
great
and
call,
weeks as more people see it.
great
But
updates. I'm really looking forward now to watching it all pan out.
We may also come out with some more blogs in the future about, well, not only kind of how the alpha is going, but we might even do some with like current ideas in the white papers, just to give a better overview of stuff.
Yeah,
That's some stuff to come as well.
yeah. You guys
Yeah,
get first look
we had
ahead.
a discussion in Telegram over this. There are other like data set crypto-focused groups, and Effect AI needs to set itself apart. And I think this whole white paper, a coordination layer between machine and human intelligence working together, I think that's the ticket. So yeah, I think as Jesse mentioned, the Whisper improvement application, or really any other model application, I think putting that out there will definitely help, because it goes beyond just we're providing a data set and they have to do all that. No, Effect I can do all that for you, data set and model iteration included, or at least aspires to.
Yeah, we could be the one-stop shop for everyone instead of just having them part everything out and figure it out themselves. So I'm very excited about that too.
Cool. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jeffrey, Jesse, Miguel, DJ, and everyone in the audience. I think we're done, and it's time for beers.
All right, thank you, Rochelle. Thank you, Jesse,
Do that
Jeffrey, and
again.
Miguel. You all have a good day.
Cheers,
Of
guys.
course.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Bye bye.